Imagine you are going on a car road trip with your family. Three cars. The first car is you, the second car is your sister, and into the third car is your wife's sister. So you have three cars going together to the same destination. If we can have a relationship between them to understand project management, program management, and portfolio management, we can say that driving one single car, it's a project by itself. So you have its responsibility on the car, you have your specific schedule to follow, but you also have your budget, or in this case, the gas in the car. And of course, you have your specific things to be solved there. And then you have the three cars working together as a program. Because as we mentioned last week, program management is about improving the benefit. So we have three different projects, and the benefit of having them together, grouped, it's much bigger than the project alone. In this case, three cars with the whole family going to the same destination. And if one car is a project and the three cars together are a program, what is then portfolio management? Well, let's say you are driving south, okay? It doesn't matter how fast you're going, but you're driving south. And then you discover your destination, your strategy in this case, was actually north. So the direction, the map, the coordination, the budget for the whole family in the trip, the, the confirmation that this travel should happen right now, and it's a good moment for the family considering all the things that are happening. So everything related to that we can relate to portfolio management. Welcome here, my name is William, and in this video I want to walk you through in a very simple way, very basic concept on what is portfolio management. Okay, we've been doing this organization, this channel for the main topics around project management. So we had this video on what is project management. Then we had what is program management, and now I want to talk about portfolio. So project management, as we already learned, is the coordination of one activity. So it's the delivery of a one unique product or service. And in this case, we can call that in a construction can be like the brick. Then we have program management, which is the coordination, the management of different projects, different bricks, that together will have a big benefit. So is the church. And then you have portfolio management, and you have a strategic objective, you have a strategic goals, and together with the different programs and projects, they will deliver something that makes sense to your vision, to what we want to achieve. And that, considering the church, we can say that the portfolio is the city plan. All right, so I think with those two examples, it's quite clear to you that portfolio is what sits behind and connects all the execution with the strategy. So if project management and program management are about executing things that are already decided that should be executed, portfolio management is what holds everything together, making sure that we are executing on the right things, that we have a reason to execute them. So what is the why behind the execution? And of course, the strategic decision that something should be executed now and not in 3 years is also a responsibility of portfolio management. Because this is basically the most important link between what your company is aiming to do, it's planning to do, what is the vision of the company and its strategy therefore, and how this strategy will be summarized, organized, delivered through the different departments. And the different departments will have their projects and programs walking to this direction. So in portfolio management, we have basically 6 domains that are very important to understand, even in the very basic concept. The first one is the alignment part, what is called the strategic management. So this domain, we have like gap analysis, strategic buckets, and we organize things to make sure that every single dollar, every single money that we are considered to spend in the organization, it's going to the right direction. It's aligned with the strategy. So strategic management is about that, executing the right things. And then we have the second domain, that is the decision engine, and it's called the governance. So of course, governance is about the framework. You have a gate to decide when something should move forward, when something should be stopped. You also have your framework to organize how the projects and the programs are executed, how you are going to fund the budget for these projects, who is going to approve this fund, who is going to control that the money is spent in the correct way. So everything on that, it's also under portfolio management, and it's called the governance. Then we have the supply for your portfolio, and that is the domain called capacity and capability management. So basically, you have a lot of dreams, right? Everything that you want to execute, everything you want to deliver, but your capacity is limited. So you have a specific load that is possible to be executed by your teams, and you have the estimation of all the things that you want to execute. So it's also responsibility of portfolio management that makes sure that what you want to execute, connecting to what you can execute, will be then organized to execute the right things. So this is very important to understand, because I would say that is one thing that many people forget when they organize in portfolio management practice in their companies. They organize a very good way of working, a very good structured governance, but they forget that we should have a very good capacity and capability management to make sure that your funnel of all the things that are coming through to be executed or to be prioritized are actually considering what your teams can do and what they cannot do. Okay? Then the fourth domain, it's what will aggregate everything together to make sure that you are considering what is happening from a risk perspective. And that's exactly the portfolio risk management perspective. You have many different programs, many different projects, you have different teams, and they have, of course, different risks that are being considered during the planning and the execution of the work. So portfolio risk management is basically making sure that the strategy that is being executed and delivered through these different projects, it's calculated and organized and manage all those risks in a way that you can control and predict what should be done to mitigate them in the best way possible. Then you have the fifth domain, that is stakeholder management. And this is one that's very important, right? The people around their projects. And stakeholders goes to everyone involved in your deliverable, everyone involved in your execution. From the external ones, like the suppliers or the customers, the internal ones, the people executing it, and of course, your executive management, who is driving and defining the strategy that will be prioritized. So many different stakeholders, I just mentioned some here, but many different stakeholders that will make sure that they are connected with the reason on why your portfolio is moving to this direction and not to that direction. And they should be communicated on the chains on priorities, on the chains on the execution perspective, and also on the different governance boards and gates and approvals that you have along the way. Good. And the sixth one is then value management. And this is the last one, but it's, I would say, one of the most crucial ones when it comes to the reason why having a good portfolio management established in your company. You have so many different projects and programs working together. They are trying to deliver your strategy, and hopefully they are delivering the strategy that you plan. So everything is walking to the as it should walk, as was planned. But what is the value behind it? What is the benefit that we are collecting over the time, over the months, over the years to your business? So value management is about making sure that your portfolio is delivering what it should deliver, not only executing on the right things, the most important thing, but also executing it in a way that is delivering to the company, to the business, the value that are expected. Okay, so this is the basics to understand portfolio management. As I mentioned in the other videos on project management and program management, we are going to have a series of videos and more content to deep dive into those concepts, to understand the investor mindset, to understand more on how strategy how can we break down strategy in a way that will be in the end organized into projects and small deliverables, but connecting everything in a simple way. And portfolio management has many good perspectives that should be considered. And then we have also a more modern approach to portfolio management, where in a agile cultures and agile way of working, you need to have also quicker responses to the change that are happening much faster, like in the software company, software environment, the changes are happening almost weekly. So you need to respond fast to that, not only on the project level, but also on the portfolio level, because you're still defining the strategy that you should follow for months, for years, but the changes that are happening along the way, they should be considered to recycle or refill your portfolio in a way that you always checking that you're executing the right things, spending your money in the right things, and also that your strategy is still realistic every single time you react to those changes. And that's what we have in practice, like lean portfolio management and other more modern approaches that work just as good as the traditional one. They are just made for different environments and different kind of business. And of course, you should be able to evaluate when a specific practice, a specific way of working should be considered to your business, to your company. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to make this clear to you. And please leave in the comments what exactly you want to understand more about this whole connection between project management, program management, portfolio management, strategy, execution, because I want to bring the content that is suited for you, for your needs. And if you want to deep dive even more in the content around project management, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter that is called Project Management Compass. You can find that in the description of the video, and I am really sure you are going to enjoy a lot the content there as well, and be part of the community, talk with different project managers. That will be fantastic. See you there, and see you in the next video.